Part 1. Awakening Inner Strength. Resilience is not born from comfort, it is forged in the crucible of challenge, in the moments when life seems to collapse around us. When dreams vanish unexpectedly, relationships dissolve, health falters, and hope feels distant, the depth of despair becomes a fertile ground for transformation. These moments are not punishments but sacred invitations. They call us to awaken the silent, unshakable force within, the inner warrior that has always existed at the core of our being, waiting to step forward and illuminate the path ahead. Awakening this inner strength requires deliberate practice. It begins with observing ourselves honestly, recognizing fear, pain, and doubt, yet refusing to be defined by them. Mindful reflection, daily affirmations, and visualization cultivate courage, clarity, and resilience. Visualize a radiant light expanding from your heart, permeating every cell, every thought, every emotion, and every action. This light symbolizes your innate power, your capacity to transcend limitations, and your readiness to manifest a life aligned with purpose, abundance, and joy. Embracing vulnerability is central to this process. The willingness to face inner pain without avoidance transforms suffering into fuel for growth. Emotional challenges teach patience, compassion, and the ability to adapt. Simple yet consistent practices, such as writing one positive note daily, acknowledging progress, and challenging limiting beliefs, gradually reshape your perception. Statements like, "I am rebuilding my life," replace destructive self-judgments, gradually realigning your internal narrative toward empowerment and hope. Scientific studies in positive psychology emphasize the transformative potential of focusing on internal strengths. Individuals who cultivate resilience, mindfulness, and self-awareness experience a measurable increase in life satisfaction and well-being. Courage, therefore, is not the absence of fear, but the conscious choice to act despite fear. Every step taken in alignment with your inner purpose strengthens the warrior within, creating a foundation for sustained growth and the manifestation of holistic abundance, emotional, spiritual, relational, and material. Daily exercises reinforce this awakening. Begin with quiet reflection, deep breathing, and visualization. Repeat affirmations aloud, observing how they reshape mental patterns. These practices serve as anchors, connecting intention with action. Each day becomes an opportunity to align thought, word, and deed with the higher vibration of abundance. As you progress, you cultivate not only strength but also self-trust, clarity of purpose, and the inner calm that enables decisive, inspired action. In the depth of despair, seeds of transformation take root. Pain, once perceived as a curse, becomes a guide, teaching lessons invisible to the mind clouded by suffering. By acknowledging and integrating these lessons, you reclaim control over your life and create space for joy, creativity, and fulfillment. Each reflection, each conscious choice, each act of courage compounds, reinforcing your resilience and expanding the horizon of possibilities. Abundance, in this context, transcends material wealth. It encompasses emotional equilibrium, spiritual connection, relational harmony, and a sense of purpose aligned with the universe's flow. The warrior within does not ignore pain but transmutes it into empowerment, like an alchemist converting base material into gold. This transformation is both personal and collective. As your inner light strengthens, it radiates outward, influencing and inspiring those around you. Engaging in this awakening requires persistence and daily commitment. Simple rituals, journaling, affirmations, meditation, and visualization become lifelines that nurture growth. Over time, these practices consolidate into habits, aligning conscious intention with subconscious patterns. This alignment catalyzes profound transformation, facilitating the manifestation of desired outcomes and a state of harmonious abundance. True inner strength is revealed when challenges are met with grace and resilience. Each obstacle becomes an opportunity to deepen self-knowledge, refine focus, and exercise mastery over thought and emotion. By maintaining presence, practicing patience, and cultivating courage, the individual not only survives adversity but thrives amid it. Strength, once awakened, serves as a perpetual guide, illuminating the path to fulfillment and empowering every choice along the journey. The journey toward awakening inner strength is continuous and evolving. It is less about reaching a destination and more about embodying a conscious presence in each moment. The warrior within is an ever-present companion, guiding reflection, inspiring action, and sustaining faith in the infinite possibilities that life offers. Through unwavering commitment, daily practice, and conscious engagement with the self, the individual gradually manifests an abundant, balanced, and purposeful existence that reflects the full spectrum of potential inherent within. Part 2. Facing fear and breaking limits. Fear is a fundamental force in human experience, rooted in survival instincts. It protects, warns, and guides, yet it can also imprison, paralyzing dreams and limiting potential. Consciously confronting fear is essential for growth and the manifestation of abundance. Fear is not the enemy. Its misuse, avoidance, or domination over choices creates stagnation. Understanding fear as a mental construct rather than absolute truth is the first step in liberation. Identifying fear requires honesty. Recognizing thoughts such as, "What if I fail?" or "Am I enough?" exposes patterns of limitation. Each fear has an origin, often traceable to past experiences, criticisms, or perceived failures. Reflection and awareness allow the individual to examine fear objectively, transforming it from an obstacle into a teacher. This perspective shifts energy from avoidance to conscious engagement. Practical techniques strengthen the capacity to face fear. Breathing exercises, such as deep rhythmic patterns, reduce physiological arousal associated with anxiety. Mindfulness practices cultivate presence, preventing the mind from projecting worst-case scenarios. Small, incremental actions challenge avoidance behaviors, speaking in front of friends, initiating difficult conversations, or exploring new opportunities. Each successful act builds confidence and reinforces resilience. Affirmations are powerful tools in reprogramming fear-based thinking. Statements like, "I am greater than my fears," or "I act with courage and clarity," gradually reshape internal narratives. Visualization complements this process by creating vivid mental images of triumph, internalizing success, and reinforcing the belief in personal capability. Consistency in practice is critical. Repetition strengthens neural pathways, embedding courage and self-efficacy into daily experience. Internal narratives transform as fear is confronted. Labels such as failure or incapable are replaced with affirmations of potential, resilience, and abundance. The individual becomes both observer and actor, maintaining awareness of limitations while choosing deliberate action. Facing fear fosters liberation, self-mastery, and empowerment, unlocking doors to personal, relational, and professional growth. Community and mentorship amplify transformation. Engaging with supportive individuals provides reflection, feedback, and modeling of courageous behavior. Shared experiences validate challenges, inspire action, and reinforce confidence. Interactions grounded in authenticity and mutual growth enhance resilience, encouraging experimentation and the pursuit of meaningful goals. Daily commitment enhances progress. Structured practices, including journaling fears, tracking steps toward challenges, and reflecting on victories, reinforce agency and self-trust. Awareness of progress, even incremental, motivates continued action and strengthens belief in capability. Consistency compounds, producing exponential growth in confidence, skill, and psychological flexibility. The dissolution of fear expands the space for abundance. Emotional, relational, and material growth arise naturally when the constraining walls of fear crumble. Clearer decision-making, increased creativity, and enhanced interpersonal engagement result from this expansion. The individual becomes a magnet for opportunities aligned with values and intentions, generating a ripple effect that impacts both self and community. Resilience develops through persistence in the face of adversity. Each encounter with fear reinforces the capacity to respond consciously, cultivating patience, clarity, and endurance. The practice of deliberate exposure to fear consolidates confidence, allowing higher-risk opportunities to be pursued with measured courage. Mastery of fear strengthens the alignment of action with purpose, enabling consistent progress toward holistic abundance. Ultimately, confronting fear is a multidimensional practice. It involves emotional regulation, cognitive reframing, behavioral experimentation, and spiritual awareness. This integrated approach transforms fear from an obstacle into a catalyst, elevating consciousness, expanding potential, and facilitating sustained manifestation of desired outcomes. True freedom emerges not in the absence of fear but in the capacity to act despite it. The commitment to face fear and break limits is ongoing. Each day presents opportunities to confront subtle and overt fears, reinforcing courage, self-awareness, and resilience. This daily engagement establishes a foundation for continuous growth, emotional empowerment, and the full realization of the abundance inherently available to every individual willing to meet fear with conscious action, clarity, and unwavering determination. Part 3. Cultivating Present Moment Awareness. The present moment is the only reality in which life occurs. Dwelling on past regrets or projecting anxieties into the future distracts from the richness of the now. Mindful awareness is the gateway to clarity, peace, and holistic abundance. Conscious engagement with each moment transforms perception, dissolves limiting beliefs, and enhances emotional, relational, and spiritual well-being. The practice of being fully present cultivates focus, reduces stress, and strengthens resilience, allowing life to unfold with intention and alignment. Mindfulness begins with observing the breath. Attention directed to the inhalation and exhalation anchors consciousness, centering the mind and stabilizing emotion. Observing the body, sensations, and mental patterns without judgment cultivates insight into automatic behaviors and habitual reactions. Awareness of thought processes allows the conscious choice to respond rather than react, transforming experience into deliberate action and empowered decision-making. Engagement with the senses heightens presence. The texture of objects, the taste of food, the sounds of the environment, and the subtle movements of the body serve as anchors for the mind. By fully inhabiting these experiences, the individual cultivates a state of attentive awareness that extends beyond formal meditation into daily life. Presence becomes habitual, permeating interactions, tasks, and personal reflection. The dissolution of past and future obsessions reduces anxiety and emotional turbulence. Mindful awareness interrupts habitual cycles of rumination and worry, replacing them with clarity and intentional focus. Studies indicate that consistent practice of mindfulness improves cognitive flexibility, emotional regulation, and stress resilience. Individuals report increased life satisfaction, enhanced relationships, and a profound sense of inner calm. Daily practice reinforces these benefits. Structured exercises, such as focused breathing for 5 minutes, conscious observation of bodily sensations, and mindful engagement in routine tasks, gradually integrate presence into the fabric of experience. Over time, these practices establish neural pathways that support sustained awareness, enabling deliberate action aligned with purpose, values, and long-term goals. Mindfulness also enhances creativity, problem-solving, and interpersonal effectiveness. Being present allows deeper attunement to circumstances, intuitive insight, and adaptive responses to challenges. Awareness expands perception of opportunities, facilitating informed decision-making and effective action in complex situations. Presence fosters empathy, compassion, and authentic communication, strengthening relational bonds and collective growth. Visualization and reflective journaling complement mindfulness. By documenting observations, insights, and emotional patterns, the individual creates a feedback loop that reinforces awareness and self-understanding. Integrating these practices into daily life ensures that awareness is not isolated to meditation sessions but extends to professional, personal, and social contexts. The cultivation of present moment awareness is continuous. Each moment provides an opportunity to practice observation, acceptance, and engagement. As habitual patterns of distraction and avoidance diminish, clarity, purpose, and alignment with higher intention increase. The individual becomes capable of sustained attention, measured response, and deliberate creation of desired outcomes. Ultimately, conscious presence expands the capacity to experience abundance in all domains. Emotional resilience, spiritual connection, relational depth, and effective action emerge from consistent engagement with the present. By grounding attention in the now, the individual dissolves internal resistance, accesses innate potential, and manifests a life aligned with purpose, clarity, and the natural flow of abundance. Presence is not passive. It is a deliberate, active engagement with reality as it unfolds. The practice strengthens perception, cultivates discipline, and refines the ability to align thought, emotion, and action. Through conscious awareness, the individual transforms life from a series of automatic reactions into a structured, intentional, and abundant experience. The commitment to presence is ongoing. Each interaction, task, and moment of reflection reinforces the capacity to live consciously. Mindful awareness anchors the individual in clarity, fosters resilience, and facilitates the emergence of abundance. By integrating practice into daily life, the individual cultivates mastery over internal states, aligns with purpose, and experiences the fullness of life in every dimension. Part 4. The importance of forgiveness for liberation. Forgiveness is a transformative force that liberates the mind, heart, and spirit. Holding on to resentment, anger, or past grievances acts as a weight, blocking energy, clarity, and the flow of abundance. Forgiveness is not forgetting, condoning, or excusing behavior. It is a conscious decision to release attachment to past pain, reclaim personal power, and create space for growth, healing, and inner peace. The act of forgiveness fosters emotional balance, strengthens relationships, and aligns the individual with higher vibration and purpose. Understanding forgiveness begins with self-awareness. Recognize emotional triggers and the ways past events influence present behavior, perception, and decisions. Reflect on the cost of holding resentment, increased stress, disrupted focus, impaired relationships, and diminished vitality. Awareness alone initiates change, enabling the conscious choice to let go of what no longer serves the individual's highest good. Forgiveness is a deliberate act of empowerment, not a passive gesture. Forgiving oneself is as critical as forgiving others. Self-blame, guilt, and regret are internal barriers that inhibit growth. By acknowledging past errors, taking responsibility without judgment, and committing to learn from experiences, the individual cultivates self-compassion. Statements such as, "I forgive myself for past mistakes and choose to grow," replace cycles of self-punishment with conscious acceptance and empowerment. This internal liberation creates a foundation for external forgiveness and relational harmony. Practical techniques strengthen the capacity to forgive. Journaling allows structured exploration of grievances and internal emotions. Writing letters to those who caused harm, without necessarily sending them, provides a tangible mechanism for expression and release. Verbal affirmations, visualization of releasing burdens, and structured reflection reinforce the process. The repetition of conscious forgiveness establishes neural pathways that support emotional resilience and adaptive responses. Forgiveness enhances mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Research demonstrates measurable reductions in stress, anxiety, and depression following consistent practice. The act of releasing resentment frees cognitive and emotional energy, creating space for clarity, creativity, and focused intention. Individuals who forgive report improved relationships, increased empathy, and a heightened sense of personal agency. Integration of forgiveness into daily life ensures sustained transformation. Regular reflection on emotional responses, coupled with deliberate release of negativity, maintains alignment with higher values and purpose. Mindfulness practices enhance forgiveness by fostering awareness of present reactions and reducing automatic, judgment-based responses. This combination of conscious reflection and mindful engagement strengthens the individual's ability to act with compassion and clarity in all interactions. Forgiveness expands the capacity for abundance. Emotional and relational growth flourish when the individual releases past attachments and opens to present opportunities. By letting go of grievances, energy previously tied to resentment is redirected toward creativity, purpose, and intentional manifestation. Forgiveness facilitates emotional equilibrium, strengthens resilience, and enhances clarity in decision-making, creating a fertile environment for personal and professional abundance. Forgiveness is a multidimensional practice involving the mind, heart, and spirit. Intellectual understanding, emotional processing, and spiritual acceptance converge to enable authentic release. The individual who practices forgiveness experiences freedom from cycles of reactivity, empowerment in action, and alignment with life's natural flow. Each conscious choice to forgive reinforces inner strength, expands perspective, and cultivates higher awareness. Sustained practice of forgiveness transforms internal and external realities. Habits of reflection, acknowledgement, and release establish a consistent rhythm of conscious liberation. Relationships improve as empathy, patience, and understanding replace resentment and judgment. Emotional energy previously trapped in conflict is redirected toward constructive action, purpose-driven engagement, and harmonious living. Ultimately, forgiveness is a gateway to holistic abundance. It dissolves internal resistance, liberates suppressed energy, and strengthens connection with self, others, and the universe. Through disciplined, deliberate practice, the individual cultivates mastery over emotion, alignment with purpose, and the capacity to experience life fully and intentionally. Forgiveness is not a single act but a lifelong commitment to liberation, empowerment, and the conscious realization of personal and collective abundance. Part 5. The Power of Intention in Creating Abundance. Intention is the invisible force that shapes reality. Every thought, belief, and deliberate focus contributes to the creation of experience. Clear, aligned intention directs energy toward desired outcomes, facilitating the manifestation of abundance in all areas of life: emotional, relational, spiritual, and material. Without conscious intention, actions and experiences drift aimlessly, influenced by external forces and habitual patterns. Establishing and maintaining focused intention transforms ordinary moments into catalysts for growth, fulfillment, and prosperity. The foundation of intentional living begins with self-awareness. Recognize current thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Identify patterns that reinforce limitation and contrast them with desired outcomes. Intention requires clarity, specificity, and alignment with purpose. Broad or ambiguous goals generate inconsistent results, while precise, conscious focus activates internal and external mechanisms that manifest desired realities. Daily reflection, journaling, and mental visualization strengthen this process. Visualization is a core technique in manifesting intention. By vividly imagining the desired outcome, the individual engages cognitive, emotional, and sensory faculties, creating a mental blueprint of success. Seeing, feeling, and experiencing the result internally primes the subconscious mind, aligning internal states with external possibilities. Visualization reinforces belief, enhances confidence, and sustains motivation, translating intention into consistent action. Affirmations complement intention by reinforcing internal alignment with goals. Repeating statements such as, "I attract abundance," or "I live in harmony with purpose and prosperity," reshapes neural pathways, gradually transforming subconscious beliefs into conscious reality. The combination of visualization, affirmations, and reflective practice consolidates intention, creating a unified internal environment conducive to manifestation. Action is essential. Intention without execution remains theoretical. Every step taken toward a goal, no matter how small, activates momentum. Research in psychology demonstrates that goal-oriented behavior combined with intention enhances achievement, self-efficacy, and resilience. The consistent pursuit of aligned actions amplifies the effects of intention, producing tangible results over time. Energy alignment underpins the effectiveness of intention. Emotional coherence, focus, and presence amplify the signal sent to the universe. Distraction, doubt, and conflicting desires dilute intention, slowing manifestation. Maintaining emotional and cognitive alignment strengthens the power of focus, creating resonance between internal states and external circumstances. Regular meditation, reflective journaling, and mindfulness practices support this alignment. Intention operates in multiple dimensions simultaneously. It influences perception, decision-making, emotional response, and interpersonal interaction. Individuals with clear intention perceive opportunities, respond effectively to challenges, and attract circumstances congruent with their goals. Life unfolds more coherently, with synchronicity and flow replacing chaos and indecision. The practice of intention requires vigilance and persistence. Daily attention to thought patterns, beliefs, and emotional responses ensures continued alignment. Regular evaluation of progress, reflection on outcomes, and adjustment of focus enhance effectiveness. Intention becomes a disciplined habit, integrating seamlessly into everyday life and guiding decision-making, relationships, and personal growth. Intention magnifies the capacity to manifest abundance. By consciously directing attention, energy, and action, individuals create environments conducive to prosperity, harmony, and fulfillment. Internal alignment produces external results, reinforcing the cycle of conscious creation. Intention shapes both the process and the outcome, establishing a coherent framework for continuous growth and manifestation. Ultimately, intention is a commitment to conscious co-creation with life. It requires clarity, focus, alignment, and consistent engagement. Through deliberate practice, visualization, affirmation, and action, the individual transforms abstract desires into tangible reality. Intention empowers the mind, heart, and spirit to collaborate, generating a life rich in opportunity, fulfillment, and abundant possibility. The disciplined application of intention cultivates mastery over experience, aligning the individual with universal principles of abundance, purpose, and conscious creation. Part 6. The transformative practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a fundamental principle in the cultivation of abundance, inner peace, and resilience. Recognizing and appreciating what is present shifts attention from scarcity to possibility, reshaping perception, emotional state, and energetic alignment. Regular practice of gratitude enhances well-being, strengthens relationships, and amplifies the capacity to attract opportunities, resources, and positive experiences. Its transformative power extends across emotional, relational, spiritual, and material dimensions. The practice of gratitude begins with awareness. Observe aspects of life often taken for granted: the breath, physical health, supportive relationships, opportunities, and moments of beauty. Simple acknowledgement of these elements activates a neurological response that strengthens positive cognitive patterns. Studies in positive psychology demonstrate that gratitude increases happiness, reduces stress, and enhances emotional resilience. Individuals who practice gratitude consistently report improved relationships, higher life satisfaction, and greater overall well-being. Daily exercises solidify the habit of gratitude. Recording 3 to 5 items for which one is thankful creates a tangible record of abundance and shifts focus from problems to possibilities. Writing with specificity, "I am grateful for the guidance of a colleague today," enhances the emotional impact and reinforces neural pathways associated with appreciation. Reflective journaling transforms gratitude from abstract thought into lived experience, embedding awareness into everyday consciousness. Gratitude is not limited to positive experiences, it also includes reframing challenges. Recognizing lessons in adversity, opportunities for growth in difficulty, and strengths discovered through hardship allows gratitude to operate as a tool of resilience. This perspective cultivates emotional flexibility, enabling the individual to navigate complex circumstances with composure, clarity, and constructive action. Expressing gratitude toward others reinforces relational bonds. Acts of appreciation, verbal acknowledgement, and meaningful gestures foster connection, trust, and mutual support. When gratitude is communicated intentionally, it strengthens interpersonal resonance, encouraging collaboration, empathy, and collective growth. The practice extends beyond self-reflection into active participation in the well-being of others, creating a feedback loop that amplifies abundance in multiple dimensions. Visualization enhances the potency of gratitude. Imagine the energy of appreciation radiating from the heart, permeating the mind, body, and interactions with the world. This conscious engagement strengthens the emotional and spiritual dimensions of gratitude, aligning energy with higher vibration. Regular visualization reinforces the subconscious association between acknowledgement and positive outcomes, facilitating manifestation in daily life. Gratitude supports mental clarity and decision-making. By shifting focus toward abundance, clarity replaces confusion, and insight replaces reaction. Neural patterns consolidate, reinforcing constructive thinking, emotional stability, and adaptive behavior. The cumulative effect of consistent gratitude practice is a coherent internal environment, conducive to growth, creativity, and intentional action. Incorporating gratitude into daily routines ensures sustainability. Morning reflection, journaling at night, mindful acknowledgement during daily activities, and conscious communication of appreciation maintain alignment with abundance principles. Over time, gratitude becomes an internalized lens through which life is perceived, shaping experience and reinforcing positive feedback loops. Gratitude expands the capacity to receive and give. Recognizing abundance within life, regardless of external circumstances, generates energetic openness that attracts resources, opportunities, and meaningful interactions. This reciprocal flow enhances emotional, relational, and material dimensions simultaneously, integrating gratitude into a holistic practice of abundance. Ultimately, gratitude is a deliberate choice, a disciplined practice, and a conscious state of being. It cultivates awareness, strengthens resilience, deepens relationships, and aligns the individual with the natural flow of life. Through consistent engagement, gratitude transforms perception, activates potential, and creates conditions for sustained manifestation of abundance. Its practice is both the seed and the harvest, generating a continuous cycle of recognition, appreciation, and expansion that shapes a life rich in purpose, fulfillment, and conscious abundance. Part 7. The Strength of Resilience in the Transformation Journey. Resilience is the cornerstone of transformation, the capacity to face adversity while maintaining clarity, purpose, and inner stability. Life inevitably presents challenges, setbacks, and unpredictable events. The strength to endure, adapt, and continue moving forward defines the trajectory from struggle to abundance. Resilience is not innate but cultivated through practice, reflection, and conscious engagement with personal experience. It allows the individual to navigate complexity without losing sight of goals, values, or inner balance. Resilient individuals maintain perspective in the face of difficulty. Emotional regulation, cognitive flexibility, and adaptive response strategies allow challenges to be reframed as opportunities for growth. Stressful events become catalysts for learning, creativity, and self-discovery. The practice of reframing transforms obstacles into stepping stones, reinforcing confidence and increasing capacity to handle future challenges with equanimity and composure. Self-care is integral to resilience. Physical health, nutrition, rest, and mindful activity strengthen the body's ability to endure stress. Emotional self-care, including reflection, journaling, and meditation, cultivates clarity and stability. Spiritual practices, such as contemplation, affirmation, or connection with universal principles, reinforce purpose and fortify inner strength. Integrating self-care into daily routines ensures sustained resilience and equips the individual to respond effectively to demanding circumstances. Community and support networks enhance resilience. Engaging with mentors, peers, or supportive groups provides perspective, guidance, and encouragement. Shared experiences reduce isolation, normalize challenges, and offer models of adaptive response. Resilient behavior is reinforced through observation and interaction, creating a feedback loop that strengthens both individual and collective capability. Practical exercises reinforce resilience. Mindfulness practices stabilize attention and reduce reactivity. Journaling allows structured exploration of emotions, reactions, and strategies for constructive engagement. Goal setting, coupled with incremental achievement, strengthens self-efficacy and fosters momentum. Each deliberate action, no matter how small, compounds to build confidence, adaptability, and sustained inner power. Resilience transforms perception of failure and adversity. Setbacks are reframed as data, insight, and opportunity rather than threats to self-worth or progress. Emotional energy previously consumed by frustration or regret is redirected toward learning, creative problem-solving, and constructive action. This shift in focus amplifies effectiveness, expands capacity for achievement, and strengthens alignment with long-term goals. Visualization and affirmation enhance resilience by reinforcing belief in personal capacity. Imagining challenges successfully navigated and outcomes achieved strengthens neural pathways associated with confidence and perseverance. Affirmations such as, "I endure, adapt, and thrive," internalize resilience as a core trait, influencing behavior, perception, and response patterns across circumstances. Resilience supports relational and professional development. Emotional stability enables clear communication, empathy, and collaborative problem-solving. Challenges within relationships or work environments are met with measured response, strategic planning, and constructive engagement. Resilient individuals act from a place of clarity, enhancing personal and collective outcomes and contributing to environments of trust, support, and mutual growth. Resilience is cumulative. Repeated practice of adaptive response, reflection, and intentional engagement compounds over time, producing durable capacity to withstand stress, navigate complexity, and sustain forward momentum. Each instance of perseverance reinforces internal strength, confidence, and alignment with purpose, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of growth and empowerment. Ultimately, resilience is not merely the ability to endure, it is the conscious cultivation of strength, adaptability, and alignment in the face of life's challenges. It enables the individual to act from clarity, navigate uncertainty, and manifest abundance across emotional, relational, spiritual, and material dimensions. Through deliberate practice, reflection, and commitment, resilience becomes an enduring foundation for transformation, empowerment, and the conscious realization of potential. Part 8. Aligning Body, Mind, and Spirit. Alignment of body, mind, and spirit is the foundation of holistic abundance. True integration creates coherence in thought, emotion, and action, amplifying energy, enhancing clarity, and enabling deliberate manifestation of goals. Misalignment generates internal tension, stress, and inefficiency, disrupting flow and reducing potential. Conscious practices that harmonize physical, mental, and spiritual dimensions optimize performance, resilience, and overall well-being, creating conditions for sustainable success and fulfillment. Physical health anchors alignment. Proper nutrition, hydration, sleep, and movement strengthen the body's capacity to support mental and spiritual practices. Exercise, yoga, or mindful movement releases tension, stimulates circulation, and balances energy. Physical care reinforces psychological stability, enhancing focus, emotional regulation, and responsiveness to internal and external stimuli. A strong, healthy body provides the foundation for deliberate action, disciplined practice, and consistent growth. Mental alignment cultivates clarity and focus. Meditation, mindfulness, and reflective practices reduce cognitive clutter, enhance concentration, and stabilize emotional states. Awareness of thought patterns, beliefs, and habitual responses allows deliberate selection of constructive thinking. Cognitive alignment integrates intention with perception and action, enabling strategic decisions, creative problem-solving, and effective goal pursuit. The mind becomes a precise instrument, aligned with purpose and conscious intent. Spiritual alignment connects the individual to higher principles, universal energy, or personal purpose. Practices such as contemplation, visualization, prayer, or energy work harmonize internal vibration with external reality. Spiritual alignment fosters resilience, patience, and emotional equilibrium, enhancing the capacity to navigate challenges with grace. This dimension deepens insight, expands perspective, and strengthens commitment to authentic, purpose-driven action. Integration of body, mind, and spirit creates synergistic effects. Energy flows unimpeded, awareness sharpens, and action becomes deliberate and effective. Physical vitality supports mental clarity, mental focus reinforces spiritual practice, and spiritual connection informs purposeful behavior. The interplay of these dimensions amplifies potential, enabling the individual to manifest abundance holistically and sustainably. Daily routines reinforce alignment. Structured practices, such as morning meditation, breathwork, mindful movement, and reflection, maintain coherence. Regular evaluation of habits and adjustments ensure that misalignments are detected and corrected promptly. Habits become consistent patterns, embedding alignment into lifestyle and behavior, ensuring sustained coherence across all dimensions. Visualization and affirmation deepen integration. Imagine energy flowing freely through body, mind, and spirit, connecting internal states to external actions. Affirmations such as, "I am aligned, coherent, and abundant," reinforce mental, emotional, and spiritual synchronization. These practices strengthen self-perception, focus, and energetic resonance, enhancing performance, decision-making, and manifestation capacity. Alignment enhances resilience and adaptability. Harmonized systems respond more effectively to stress, uncertainty, and change. Emotional stability, cognitive flexibility, and spiritual grounding allow rapid adaptation, measured response, and consistent pursuit of goals. Misalignment is detected early and corrected through conscious awareness, minimizing disruption and maintaining forward momentum. The practice of alignment cultivates holistic abundance. Emotional equilibrium, physical vitality, mental clarity, and spiritual connection converge to create a coherent state capable of intentional creation. Opportunities are perceived clearly, resources are accessed efficiently, and energy is applied effectively. This integrated state facilitates consistent progress, growth, and manifestation across life domains. Ultimately, alignment of body, mind, and spirit is both a discipline and a continuous practice. It ensures coherence in thought, feeling, and action, optimizing energy, enhancing resilience, and amplifying the capacity to manifest abundance. By maintaining deliberate engagement across these dimensions, the individual cultivates mastery, clarity, and sustainable growth, creating a life of balance, purpose, and fully realized potential. Part 9. The importance of connections and community. Human beings are inherently social. Connections and community form the framework within which personal growth, resilience, and abundance flourish. Isolation limits perspective, reduces support, and inhibits the exchange of energy, knowledge, and opportunity. Engaging with a community enhances emotional stability, provides accountability, and amplifies motivation. Collective growth emerges when individuals contribute, share, and support one another, reinforcing the principles of abundance, empowerment, and purposeful living. Community strengthens resilience. Social networks provide feedback, validation, and guidance during challenging moments. Mentors, peers, and supportive groups offer diverse perspectives, resources, and emotional support. Exposure to collective experiences models adaptive behavior, demonstrates solutions, and reinforces confidence. By participating in mutually supportive networks, individuals expand capacity to navigate adversity, develop skill, and sustain momentum toward goals. Connections influence emotional and psychological health. Interpersonal engagement fosters empathy, trust, and cooperation. Positive relationships reduce stress, buffer against challenges, and enhance well-being. Regular communication, shared experiences, and acts of appreciation deepen relational bonds. Healthy connections serve as mirrors, reflecting strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for growth. Community amplifies joy, reinforces accountability, and magnifies the effects of personal practice in areas such as mindfulness, gratitude, and intention. Engagement in community encourages purpose-driven action. Contributing knowledge, support, or service creates a cycle of reciprocity, reinforcing personal value and strengthening relational cohesion. Collaboration enhances problem-solving, innovation, and collective manifestation. Individuals aligned with supportive networks leverage communal energy to achieve objectives that may be unattainable alone. Shared intention and coordinated action accelerate results, magnifying the manifestation of abundance and opportunity. Practical strategies for cultivating connections include intentional participation, consistent communication, and value-driven engagement. Seek groups, forums, or partnerships aligned with personal growth and purpose. Offer support, share experiences, and engage authentically. Active involvement fosters trust, expands influence, and integrates individual goals with collective potential. Networks become fertile grounds for opportunity, insight, and mutual empowerment. Community reinforces accountability and momentum. Sharing intentions, progress, and challenges publicly or within supportive groups enhances follow-through. Regular interaction creates reinforcement loops, sustaining motivation and commitment. Witnessing others' growth inspires action, cultivates hope, and demonstrates practical pathways to success. Social structures act as amplifiers of personal practice, increasing the speed and efficacy of transformation. Technology and modern platforms expand community potential. Online groups, virtual mentorship, and collaborative networks allow individuals to access resources, support, and expertise beyond geographical limitations. Thoughtful curation of these connections ensures alignment with personal values, goals, and energy, maximizing the benefits of expanded community engagement. Digital networks supplement, not replace, authentic interpersonal engagement, creating hybrid environments for growth. Connections enhance learning and perspective. Exposure to diverse ideas, cultures, and experiences challenges assumptions, broadens understanding, and strengthens cognitive flexibility. Listening, observing, and collaborating with others fosters insight, innovation, and strategic thinking. Social learning accelerates personal evolution, providing knowledge, frameworks, and models that catalyze rapid growth. Community fosters energetic coherence. Shared intention, collaborative action, and mutual support create a collective resonance that amplifies individual and group manifestation. Positive energy, encouragement, and constructive feedback reinforce alignment, resilience, and engagement. Connections become conduits for abundance, expanding capacity to receive, contribute, and integrate opportunities across multiple dimensions of life. Ultimately, connections and community are essential to sustainable growth and holistic abundance. They provide support, accountability, insight, and energy that magnify individual effort. Engaging authentically with others enhances resilience, sharpens focus, and accelerates manifestation. By cultivating meaningful relationships and participating in aligned communities, the individual integrates personal development with collective potential, creating an ecosystem of empowerment, shared growth, and continuous transformation. Part 10. Commitment to continuous growth. Growth is not a destination, it is an ongoing journey. The path of transformation requires continuous learning, adaptation, and deliberate practice. Commitment to growth ensures that the individual evolves beyond current limitations, expands potential, and consistently aligns with purpose and abundance. True progress emerges from disciplined engagement with knowledge, reflection, and action across all areas of life: emotional, relational, mental, physical, and spiritual. Continuous growth begins with self-awareness. Regular reflection on thoughts, behaviors, successes, and challenges allows the individual to assess alignment with goals and values. Awareness illuminates patterns, highlights areas for improvement, and identifies opportunities for innovation and expansion. Journaling, meditation, and conscious observation are practical tools that reinforce insight, facilitate clarity, and guide intentional action toward continuous evolution. Learning is central to ongoing growth. Acquiring new knowledge, skills, and perspectives enhances adaptability, strengthens problem-solving, and expands creative capacity. Engaging with books, courses, mentors, or experiential learning provides both content and context for transformation. Integration of learning into daily life ensures that knowledge translates into practice, reinforcing competence, confidence, and intentional action. Goal setting anchors growth. Defining clear, measurable, and meaningful objectives provides direction, motivation, and structure. Goals serve as reference points for progress, enabling evaluation, adjustment, and celebration of achievements. Structured planning and incremental milestones maintain momentum, cultivate discipline, and create tangible evidence of growth, reinforcing belief in the capacity to evolve and achieve. Resilience supports sustained growth. Challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable. Responding with adaptability, perseverance, and constructive reflection strengthens internal capacity and accelerates development. Each obstacle provides lessons, insights, and opportunities to refine strategy, deepen understanding, and cultivate endurance. Resilience transforms adversity into a catalyst for advancement, reinforcing commitment to continuous improvement. Mindfulness and presence enhance growth by anchoring attention, reducing distraction, and fostering clarity. Awareness of current states allows deliberate choice of actions aligned with values and objectives. Mindful engagement cultivates discernment, optimizes learning, and ensures that experiences contribute meaningfully to personal evolution. Presence integrates action with intention, magnifying the effectiveness of effort and facilitating alignment with higher purpose. Feedback accelerates growth. Constructive critique, observation, and mentorship provide external perspectives that illuminate blind spots, enhance self-awareness, and refine skills. Active solicitation of feedback demonstrates humility, openness, and commitment to improvement. Integration of insights gained through feedback ensures that growth is intentional, adaptive, and aligned with authentic objectives. Gratitude and reflection reinforce growth by recognizing progress, appreciating effort, and consolidating lessons learned. Reflective practices acknowledge achievements, identify strengths, and integrate experience into evolving frameworks. Gratitude for both successes and challenges fosters emotional balance, maintains motivation, and strengthens the foundation for continued advancement. Growth requires consistent action. Daily practices, intentional habits, and disciplined routines maintain momentum and embed development into lifestyle. Repetition solidifies neural pathways, internalizes learning, and transforms effort into competence and mastery. Consistency compounds results, producing cumulative effects that magnify potential and accelerate manifestation across multiple domains. Ultimately, commitment to continuous growth is a holistic practice. It integrates self-awareness, learning, goal-setting, resilience, mindfulness, feedback, and reflection into a coherent, ongoing process. Through deliberate, disciplined engagement, the individual evolves beyond limitations, strengthens alignment with purpose, and cultivates the capacity to manifest abundance in every dimension of life. Continuous growth is both a responsibility and an opportunity, enabling a life of fulfillment, mastery, and conscious co-creation with the universe.